Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care.
In the ethereal twilight of the alien world of Eldoria, vibrant flora painted the landscape in hues unimaginable to humans. Towering bioluminescent trees reached toward the swirling pink sky, their branches glittering with phosphorescent blossoms. It was a realm where beauty reigned supreme, and societal status was defined by aesthetic appeal. In the heart of this paradise stood the magnificent palace, an architectural marvel crafted from glistening crystal and adorned with exquisite carvings that seemed to dance in the light. Inside the grand hall, the atmosphere buzzed with anticipation. The court was assembled, an array of elegantly adorned aliens, tall, slender beings with iridescent skin and shimmering eyes. Their otherworldly beauty was both captivating and intimidating. At the center of it all was the queen, Alicia, regally seated upon her ornate throne. She was the epitome of grace, exuding charisma that could command an entire kingdom. Her deep blue skin glimmered like a starry sky, and her flowing gown, woven from threads of starlight, enhanced her undeniable allure. Yet, beneath the facade of her resplendent exterior lay a profound loneliness. Alicia had dedicated her life to her role as ruler, and while the court reveled in her beauty, few dared to look beyond it. They admired her from afar, but none connected with her heart. In the depths of her royal duties, she often found herself longing for companionship that transcended the mere superficial. That longing intensified with the announcement of an exotic addition to her court, a decorative human named Riley. Earthly tales of his kind had intrigued the alien society. The humans were seen as curiosities, a fleeting trend meant to decorate the palace. Alicia had initially ordered a human to entertain and embellish her court, believing he would be an exquisite trophy of her reign. Little did she know that the arrival of Riley would challenge everything she believed about beauty, companionship, and her own heart. As Riley was brought forth, the court gasped. His rugged features and captivating presence contrasted starkly with the ethereal elegance of the aliens. Riley observed his surroundings with wide, curious eyes, feeling both exhilarated and overwhelmed in the opulent hall. He was aware of the whispers around him, the judgment layered within the fascinated stares. This was not home. This was an alien world where he would be merely ornamental. "Presenting Riley, the decorative human," announced a voice reverberating through the hall, drawing excited murmurs from the assembly. Alicia stood, her gaze locking with Riley's. In that singular moment, she felt the stirring of emotions she had long suppressed. Despite her position, she had never truly felt the weight of beauty until she laid eyes on him. It was as if he shattered the glassy surface of her loneliness, revealing the depths of what lay beneath. For a heartbeat, the world around her faded. All she could see was him. And as the court erupted in applause, a flicker of connection sparked between them, one that promised to unravel her carefully woven life in ways she had never anticipated. The whispers of the court echoed through the grand hall, a swell of curiosity mixed with disbelief. "A decorative human," they murmured. "How peculiar." Though Riley stood at the center of it all, the sensation of their stares was overwhelming. He fought the urge to duck his head, to shrink away from the attention as the gravity of his position bore down on him. Alicia took her place next to Riley, her presence powerful yet unexpectedly warm. Unlike the others, she leaned closer, her eyes filled with genuine interest. "You must feel quite out of place," she said softly, the melodic tone of her voice wrapping around him like silk. Riley met her gaze, an electric spark igniting between them. "You have no idea," he replied, managing a faint smile. His confidence surged just a bit under her watchful eyes. "This is a lot." The queen offered him a glimpse of the envy and tenderness buried within her royal demeanor. Soon, the crowd settled into an expectant silence, each member eager to witness the curious new addition's unveiling. Alicia continued to speak with Riley, guiding him through the intricacies of court life while seamlessly integrating him into the vibrant tapestry of Eldoria. Days turned into weeks, each filled with lavish galas and intricate rituals. Among the court's activities, Riley found himself a reluctant participant, even as he became accustomed to the life of ostentatious displays. Alicia included him not merely as a decorative piece, but sought his opinion on matters, garnering the interest of her court, a strategy that both perplexed and fascinated the society around them. Riley began to absorb the beauty of Eldoria through Alicia's perspective, sharing with her photographs of Earth, pictures of sprawling landscapes, architecture, and artistic masterpieces. He taught her about the richness of human culture, music, literature, and the emotional depth embedded within each. As they exchanged stories, their evenings transformed into cherished moments, entangling their hearts in ways neither had anticipated. Yet with each shared laugh, a shadow loomed over Alicia. A haunting sense of duty gnawed at her conscience, a whisper urging her to adhere to the expectations of her throne. She had always defined her worth through her beauty, her status, and her ability to maintain the traditions of her ancestors. Riley's presence, however, pulled her into a realm of existential conflict, a reality where love and genuine connection might supersede superficial expectations. In her quiet moments, Alicia often contemplated the challenges that lay ahead. With Riley by her side, she could envision a different realm, one that mingled acceptance of imperfection with the beauty of authentic companionship. But there were dangers, unspoken tensions brewing within the court, as not all were pleased with the queen's choices. Rumors began to circulate. A growing discontent simmered among the nobles, tainting the lively air around them with whispers of betrayal. Some believed that the queen's decisions were in jeopardy, sparking a rising tide of jealousy towards Riley. Those who wanted the queen's affections for themselves recoiled at the thought of a mere human leeching from her power. The queen's heart raced as she recognized the consequences of their blossoming connection. The world around her was shifting, and the storm was closing in on them. Would the bond she shared with Riley be a vehicle of freedom, or would it herald her downfall? As the days grew warmer on Eldoria, the vibrant colors of the landscape seemed to mirror the blossoming bond between Riley and Queen Alicia. Their evenings together became the highlight of both their lives, each moment a delicate dance of laughter, shared stories, and fledgling intimacy. What began as a curious alliance swiftly transformed into something deeper, an unspoken connection forged through understanding and camaraderie. Riley reveled in the new experiences that surrounded him. Alicia introduced him to the wonders of Eldoria. They explored gardens where luminescent flowers sang under the moonlight, blossoms swirling in patterns that captivated the imagination. Alicia marveled at Riley's awe, her laughter echoing through the meadows, filling once empty spaces within her heart. For the first time in years, she felt truly alive. In these cherished moments, they exchanged truths about their worlds, their fears, and their dreams. Riley recounted tales of Earth, of its sprawling cities filled with bright lights and the noise of life. In turn, Alicia painted vivid pictures of her own world, a society governed by beauty and status, but where genuine connection lay discarded amid ostentation. One evening, they strolled hand in hand beneath a canopy of starlit skies. The soft glow of the bioluminescent trees cast ethereal shadows, allowing the intimacy of their conversation to flourish. "What do you think of our court?" Alicia asked as she looked up at him, her eyes shimmering in the twilight. "It's impressive, but I can sense the weight of expectation here," Riley replied, squeezing her hand gently. "There's beauty in what you all have, but I feel a longing for something more, something real." Her heart pounded, the truth of his words resonating deeply. "You see through the facade," she mused, contemplating the implications that came with it. In that moment, the connection between them grew stronger, bridged by a shared understanding of the yearning for authenticity. As the days poured into weeks, their closeness did not go unnoticed. Whispers of discontent grew louder in the court, fueled by jealousy and resentment from those who believed that Riley had undermined the queen's authority. To them, she was a monarch who had lost focus on her duties, preferring the company of a mere human. Alicia, aware of the growing tensions, began to hesitate during their encounters. The once jubilant conversations grew clouded with unspoken fears, and she found herself questioning whether her heart was putting her reign in jeopardy. "Perhaps it would be wise to keep our distance," she suggested one evening, her voice tinged with uncertainty. "Why? Because they don't understand?" Riley countered, concern etched across his features. "You deserve to enjoy what you have. You're more than a symbol, Alicia. His name tasted like freedom on her tongue, and with it came an ache to resist the very traditions that attempted to bind her. What if we draw attention that may harm you? She asked, vulnerability seeping into her words. Riley smirked, playfully challenging her. You think I can't handle some threats? I've faced worse back on Earth. Besides, don't you secretly want the court to see you for who you are? Not just the beautiful queen, but the passionate woman who craves connection? His words sparked something within her, a fire, an unquenchable thirst for truth. But fear clawed at her insides like an insatiable predator. Roman, I can't risk your safety, she whispered. Then let me prove my worth, he replied, his conviction unwavering. If we face the court together, we can show them that love knows no boundaries. With a heavy heart, she weighed his plea against the weight of her responsibilities. Could she truly challenge the foundations of a society that valued beauty over connection? Deep down, she knew that she wanted to embrace the very desires she had buried for so long. In a bold act of defiance, Alicia took a step closer, her hesitation falling away. Then let's face them together. I want to fight for what we have for you. At her words, Riley's expression shifted. He saw her commitment, her willingness to destroy the barriers of tradition for the sake of their bond. Hope ignited within him. They would face the court, bound together by love and courage, no longer afraid to stand against the tide. Their newfound resolve fueled late-night preparations. As the sun set over Eldoria, they crafted a plan, drawing from both their world strengths. Alicia infused ancient customs with earthly concepts of relationships, an invitation for the court to witness the potential of a hybrid family forged through passion and unity. As the fateful day approached, Alicia donned garments that symbolized her status, but also her rebellion, an elegant blend of tradition and modernity. Riley dressed in attire that mirrored her own, representing the merging of their two worlds. Together, they would be the embodiment of a transformative alliance that might just reshape the very foundations of Eldorian society. On the day of reckoning, the court gathered with bated breath, their anticipation palpable. Alicia and Riley stepped into the grand hall, hand in hand, both of them radiating confidence. The room fell into an uneasy silence as the assembly beheld their queen standing proudly beside the human who had challenged their norms. Alicia spoke, her voice steady and resolute. Today, I present you not merely a decorative human, but a partner, a companion who teaches me the value of authenticity and love beyond expectation. The air in the grand hall crackled with tension as Alicia's declaration hung like a cloud over the assembled court. As murmurs rippled through the crowd, her heart raced. The anticipation and dread of what would follow were like two opposing forces battling within her. This isn't what I expected from my queen, one noble spoke, his voice laced with disdain. To choose a human? Have you lost your mind, Alicia? We are noble eloquent, descendants of the celestial lineage. We do not mix with mere decorative beings. Riley stood at Alicia's side, his heart pounding as he felt the intensity of their judgmental eyes bearing down on him. He clutched Alicia's hand, silently vowing to stay strong for her. But the words pierced him like arrows, each one carrying the weight of tradition to which he believed he was merely an outsider. Do you wish to discard our traditions for this? Another voice chimed in, a sharp tone of challenge echoing through the hall. From the shadows stepped Lord Vesper, a powerful figure with a reputation for influencing the court's decisions. His piercing gaze rested on Alicia, anger simmering just beneath the surface. You risk everything that has been built over centuries. What shall the other worlds think of our royal lineage when they see you cavorting with a human? Alicia straightened her posture, summoning all her courage. Isn't it time for our society to challenge the very traditions that bind us, Lord Vesper? Riley has shown me the value of connection, of letting love flourish outside of expectation. Her voice held conviction, and yet doubts washed over her like fog. A collective gasp rippled through the court as they digested her words. Riley felt a wave of uncertainty crash over him. Was their connection truly enough to withstand the weight of centuries of tradition? He turned to Alicia, tracing her jawline gently with his thumb, reminding her that they were in this together. Are we really going to entertain this circus? One of the court members scoffed, a mix of disbelief and indignation swirling within them. The queen has abandoned her duties for a passing whim. With every cutting remark, the tension deepened, whispers morphed into chaos, igniting anger among those who held steadfast to the old ways. Alicia pressed her lips together, fighting the urge to retreat into herself, but Riley felt a surprising wave of determination swell within. He stepped forward, channeling all his earthly charm. "If I may," he began, his voice steady, "I understand that I may not belong to your world in the traditional sense, but you must see that beauty, status, and lineage do not define a person. I may be decorative, but I can also be meaningful and worthy of love." The court buzzed with disbelief at the audacity of a mere human standing against them, but Alicia could see the flicker of hope igniting within her. Was it possible to sway their hearts and minds? "Love is not bound by social structures or traditions," he continued. "It's about the connection between two souls. I respect your culture and your queen. Your values matter, but perhaps it is time to blend what is old with what is new." Alicia's heart soared at Riley's courage, but the whispers only grew louder, now laced with a hint of hatred mixed with fear. They had seen enough. They were not ready to let the traditions crumble. The air grew thick with dissatisfaction. "You speak with foolishness, human," Lord Vesper sneered, pacing slowly, commanding the attention of the court. "The queen is a figure of power and heritage, and you threaten to dilute our lineage with your presence. If you cannot understand and respect what we are, then perhaps the queen has led us to ruin. Are our hearts truly so fragile that we cannot embrace those who are different?" Alicia challenged, her voice rising above the discontent. "We are rulers, and a ruler must lead with an open heart. That is what the people deserve." But the crowd remained divided. Some members were swayed by Alicia's courage, while others embraced the darkness of their traditions, growing more unruly with resentment. Another noble rose to challenge her directly, a lady whose name echoed in the chambers. "Your reign is built upon a foundation of tradition and the strength of our lineage. This human will threaten our worthiness. Have you forgotten your duty to your ancestors? To us? Noble treatments of heritage do not need to come at the expense of love." Alicia shot back, wishing to quell the tides of anger lapping at her resolve. "Our people should not only be defined by rules set centuries ago, but should evolve, much like the world around us." As the exchange reached a boiling point, the realization hit Alicia that their unity was in peril. Would her emotions draw a rift between her and her people, overshadowing their shared history? And what of Riley? How much longer could he stand among the growing animosity? "Alicia, maybe this is too much. Perhaps you should," Riley began, his own insecurity creeping in. "No," she interrupted firmly, looking at him with fierce determination. "I will not back down. Not when I have you, and not when you've dared to stand at my side. We are stronger for it." But just as resolution appeared to reignite their spirits, Lord Vesper cut through with a final verdict. "This matter will require the influence of the High Council, dear Queen. We will not allow a human to threaten the sanctity of our traditions." Consternation spread like wildfire through the chamber as murmurs echoed through them. The uncertainty around their fate loomed, each noble in attendance casting meaningful looks toward one another. Alicia turned to Riley, determination etched in her eyes, yet doubt began to swirl in the pit of her stomach. Will the court heed their hearts? Or would they stand against love, rejecting the vulnerability that came with it? The days following the chaotic court scene dragged on, a heavy pallor settling over the palace like a storm cloud that refused to disperse. Alicia found herself in sleepless nights, filled with worry about the impending summons from the High Council. Would they see the worth in her connection to Riley, or would they succumb to the fear of change and tradition? Meanwhile, Riley battled his own insecurities, caught in the crosshairs of alien customs and his burgeoning feelings for Alicia. He had never imagined that he would find himself in love with an extraterrestrial queen, yet here he was, his heart tethered to her like a lifeline. Every shared moment, every tender glance reinforced his resolve to stand by her. One morning, seated in a secluded garden cloaked in the soft glow of blossoming lumina trees, Alicia broached the subject that had become the source of shared anxiety. The council's decision loomed over them both, casting a dark shadow on the relationship they had built. "Riley," she began, her voice quivering, "they have scheduled the mating ceremony to take place soon. It is a sacred tradition that bonds two beings together for life." Riley's heart sank at her words. He understood the significance, yet wasn't entirely prepared for the gravity behind them. "And you wish to participate in this ceremony with me?" he asked cautiously, his voice barely breaking the stillness. Alicia nodded, eyes shimmering with a mix of fear and hope. "I do. I want you by my side, so that we can confront the expectations of our worlds together. But I understand if you feel uncomfortable." "No," he replied, surprising himself with the certainty in his voice. "I want to be there for you, and our bond. I want it to mean something powerful, to showcase what we can achieve together." Visions of the ceremony danced through his mind, symbols of beauty, honor, and the merging of their disparate worlds. But beneath that glittering surface, he felt an undercurrent of fear. What challenges lay ahead when they formally united their lives in such a public manner? Alicia reached for his hand, squeezing it gently. "If we face this together, I believe we can change minds," she said, her voice hoarse with ambition. In the days leading up to the ceremony, tensions mounted within the palace walls. Alicia and Riley spent every moment preparing, but whispers of dissent continued to spread through the court like wildfire, a ravenous beast clawing at their union. The nobles could sense danger in the air, with rumors floating around that some factions intended to sabotage the ceremony. When the day finally arrived, the palace gleamed with ornate decorations, symbols that echoed the history of Eldoria, steeped in tradition, yet infused with a sense of foreboding. The High Council's towering presence cast long shadows across the courtyard as Alicia and Riley stood poised at the ceremonial altar. The gathering of noble aliens circled like a storm, excitement tinged with hostility. As the ceremony began, Alicia adorned herself in a resplendent gown made of luminescent fabric, shimmering under the light, her beauty countered by the gravity of what she was about to undertake. Riley dressed in garments intricately woven into patterns that represented both Earth and Eldoria, a testament to their merging cultures. The High Priestess, draped in radiant seashell-like robes, stepped forward. "We gather today to witness the union of Queen Alicia and the human Riley," she announced, her voice echoing through the crowd. "May their bond bring harmony to our divided world." At the core of the ceremony lay a sacred tradition, an act meant to bind their very souls. An ancient ritual involving intertwined braids of sacred vine, their shared theme a symbol of unbroken connection, illuminated by a soft glow in the air as it passed between them. As they exchanged their vows, the air turned electric. The longing in their hearts pulsated with each word spoken. Riley spoke of love that crossed boundaries, while Alicia spoke of sacrifice and courage in embracing vulnerability. They were woven together in that moment, heartstrings connecting them beyond the realms of mere expectation. However, the ceremony took a sharp turn when Lord Vesper, unable to suppress his disdain, spoke up. "This ceremony disrespects our ancestors," he thundered, striding forward. "You would dare marry a human and call it a union worthy of our traditions." The crowd shifted uneasily, murmuring their discontent. Alicia looked into Riley's eyes, the connection between them burning with an intensity that could not be extinguished. She was determined to defend what their bond represented. "What would they have us do?" Alicia demanded, her voice strong. "Deny love because it is not what has come before? If we cannot embrace the truth of our hearts, what are we ruling? I will not stand for tradition that crushes the beauty of companionship." "Foolishness!" Vesper shouted back, and the crowd rose in anger. "You will bring ruin upon us. The consequences will be catastrophic." Riley stepped forward, his own voice rising to meet Vesper's challenge. "Perhaps it is the traditions that are catastrophic, if they force you to reject what is real and true." The tension in the air thickened, and Riley felt both vulnerable and emboldened, chained to Alicia by the very love they professed before the court. But just as it appeared that Alicia and Riley's words had resonated, the High Elder interjected with finality. "The bond you claim shall be put to the test. The High Council will overlook this union. If you oppose our traditions, the judgments will be swift." An ominous silence fell over the crowd, thick with anxiety and fear. Alicia turned to Riley, her eyes full of resolve, their hands intertwined like the sacred vines at their altar. "We will stand strong together, and this bond will shine brighter than any tradition that dares to come between us." As the ceremony concluded amidst the murmurings of dissent, the couple left the courtyard, determined to fight for their love in a world that seemed determined to tear them apart. "What do we do now?" Riley asked, his heart pounding with uncertainty. Alicia's resolve solidified within her. "We prepare. We will face the High Council, and we will demand a future that honors our love and unites our worlds." The tension in the palace was palpable as Alicia and Riley prepared to confront the High Council. The air crackled with uncertainty, but resolve burned bright in their hearts. They spent the night strategizing, drawing upon both Eldorian customs and Riley's experiences from Earth to craft a compelling argument. They would not only defend their love, but advocate for a new understanding that blended their worlds. When the day of judgment arrived, Alicia wore her most regal attire, her gown shimmering like the night sky, a vivid display of her heritage and strength. Riley stood beside her in a tailored outfit reflecting both his human roots and Eldorian elegance, ready to challenge tradition with love. The council hall echoed with whispers filled with uncertainty as nobles gathered, already divided in their opinions. Alicia's heart raced as she took her place before the elevated dais, where the council members sat in judgment. The High Elder, with her iridescent eyes piercing into the depths of Alicia's soul, presided over the gathering. "You stand before us today, Queen Alicia, and you, Human Riley," the High Elder began, her voice authoritative yet tempered. "Your union threatens the very fabric of our society. Explain why we should accept such a bond." Alicia felt the weight of every eye upon her, but she drew strength from Riley's gaze. The connection they shared anchored her resolve as she stepped forward. "Honorable members of the High Council," she began, her voice steady. "Love knows no boundaries. It is a universal truth that transcends planets, cultures, and customs. Riley and I both understand the challenges our union presents, yet we believe it can forge a new path forward, one that embraces diversity rather than shunning it." Riley took a breath, stepping alongside Alicia. "Back on Earth, love is celebrated in all forms. We believe it can strengthen communities rather than weaken them. This union can set an example, showing that genuine connection can foster collaboration and acceptance, bridging gaps that your traditions have created." Lord Vesper rose, his presence radiating discontent. "You speak of love, yet we've witnessed how easily it can falter. Can you promise that this union won't dilute our lineage? Our people will suffer at your hands if you err." "If love were so easily diluted," Alicia countered, "then surely it would not have survived for centuries. Rather, it flourishes by accepting differences and growing together. I refuse to believe our legacy lies only in bloodlines. Instead, it can thrive through connection, unity, and understanding." The murmur across the hall swelled as her words resonated with some members who began to nod, questioning the rigid structure they had always accepted. Alicia pressed forward, her heart racing with the power of her convictions. "Riley has challenged my beliefs, shown me the beauty in embracing imperfection and individuality. Together, we could foster a new society, one where all beings are respected, and love can be the cornerstone of our culture." The High Elder regarded Alicia with a contemplative expression, torn between tradition and the undeniable emotion radiating from the couple. "And what of the consequences of this merger? Should it succeed or fail, fortunes could change. Are you prepared for the outcome?" "We understand the risks," Riley replied earnestly, his voice steady. "Yet, what greater risk exists than clinging to a past that no longer serves us? Change births growth. If we cannot adapt, we run the risk of stagnation and destruction." A wave of silence engulfed the hall, as many wrestled with the possibility that their beliefs might need reevaluation. Alicia's pulse quickened. This could be the turning point. "Let us not fool ourselves," shouted another council member, a figure draped in garments infused with status and history. We cannot dismiss the very essence of our lineage for a fleeting whim. Tradition protects us. It shapes our identity. Alicia's heart sank at the hostility, but she refused to falter. Tradition can also bind us, suppressing the very essence of who we are. A healthy society evolves, embracing love in all its forms, integrating the extraordinary into the ordinary. The High Elder stood, her presence commanding silence and attention once more. What do you propose in the face of these concerns? We must protect our way of life, while also recognizing the potential for change. Alicia cast a cautious glance at Riley before continuing, each word crafted with care. We invite the Council to witness firsthand the potential of our union. Allow us to conduct a trial, mating rituals that celebrate both our worlds together while honoring the significance of tradition. Let us show you, in practice, the blending of our cultures. Agreed. The High Elder mulled over the proposition, gauging the opinions around her. With a mix of anticipation and concern, the council members exchanged looks, their expression revealing that hope was blooming, albeit cautiously. After a lengthy deliberation, the High Elder finally spoke again. Very well. We shall allow this trial. If your union is as strong as you claim it will be anchored by love, you shall demonstrate its worth in our ways. If not, you must accept the consequences. Alicia and Riley exchanged astonished glances, the weight of the council's decision slowly dawning. They had been granted an opportunity to prove their love, a chance to reshape the expectations of their worlds. As the murmurs began to filter through the court once more, Alicia turned to Riley, their fingers intertwined. We have a chance. We can redefine what it means to love across worlds. Riley nodded, a fierce determination lighting his eyes. Together, we will show them the power of true connection. With a renewed sense of purpose, Alicia and Riley stepped back from the dais, their path ahead unknown, but filled with hope. The impending trial would demand everything from them and carry the weight of both their worlds. As they left the council hall, a surge of optimism filled the air. They returned to their garden, bathed in the soft glow of impending twilight, ready to face whatever challenges awaited them. Together, they formed a bridge that could unite their worlds through love, and they would fight for it, come what may. The day of the trial had arrived, and the atmosphere in the palace was charged with anticipation. Guests filled the courtyard, vibrant decorations reflecting the blending of Eldorian and earthly traditions. Alicia and Riley stood side by side, ready to embrace the challenges ahead. As they exchanged vows, Riley's voice rang clear, echoing through the gathered nobles. Today, we demonstrate that love knows no boundaries. Together, we can bridge the divide between our worlds. Alicia spoke passionately about the need for acceptance, challenging the court to embrace change. Let this union symbolize a future defined not only by tradition, but by understanding, compassion, and love. Her words resonated with many, softening hearts previously hardened against the idea of a human in their royal court. As the ceremony unfolded, Lord Vesper interrupted, intent on undermining their bond. You claim love can conquer all, yet can it endure the trials of our customs? Alicia stepped forward, a fierce light in her eyes. The deepest bonds arise from embracing differences. We are stronger together, and our union can forge a new legacy that celebrates all forms of love. The High Elder deliberated thoughtfully before finally speaking. If it is true that love can flourish across worlds, then let this union symbolize a new beginning for Eldoria. We will not shy away from the challenge of embracing a new era. With the council's approval, cheers erupted throughout the courtyard. Alicia and Riley shared a moment of triumph, knowing they had defied the odds and transformed skepticism into hope. They danced under the bioluminescent glow, surrounded by friends and allies who had witnessed their journey. In the weeks that followed, their love inspired a movement, fostering open discussions and celebrating unity and diversity. Alicia and Riley became champions of a new culture where all beings were embraced, their bond a testament to the strength found in love. As they walked hand in hand through the palace gardens, a sense of fulfillment washed over them. We did it, Riley said softly. Alicia smiled, knowing their journey was just beginning. Together, we will shape a brighter future. With hearts entwined and hope ablaze, Alicia and Riley stood at the threshold of a new era, ready to embrace the promise of love that transcends all boundaries.